And the when I left home for England, it in my pocket I had £5. I had one-way ticket from India to London, and I had 1 month job which paid, which was clinical attachment, it was called, and it had minimum wages. I had no relatives in London or England or anywhere else outside my hometown or in India. And when I was leaving, the most valuable thing, and all that ticket and the £5, everything I had was all borrowed money. So with 1 month attachment, I'm going with one-way ticket with £5 in my pocket. Ticket is borrowed money, and my father had given me the most valuable thing at that time, and that was that he had asked my brother to write in a diary a prayer for Bhagavati Devi. And he said that you do this prayer every day. And I had done that prayer since that time every single day. And I can share with you that that has shown me the way through the maze of the foreign country and all the things I had absolutely no experience before. And even from the average standards, I was very naive in a lot of things of the worldly matters. But today I have a situation where I don't feel deprived of anything. So there is a power which guides us, which helps us, and more we trust into it, it certainly will work for us throughout the life. Now, coming to the topic of Navaratri, and what is the significance of Navaratri? Navaratri is a big celebration in our temple, and we do every year, and with great enthusiasm, and we have Devi's Murti, and 9 days or 9 nights, actually it's called Navaratri. So first 3 days we dedicate to Mahakali, next 3 days we dedicate to Mahalakshmi, and next following 3 days we dedicate to Mahasaraswati. Mahakali is the Devi for which is fierce and has a fierceful look, and Mahalakshmi is the one which is Devi of the prosperity, and Saraswati is the Devi of wisdom or knowledge. How do these 3 Devis relate to us, and what is the significance of it? A very important text which we use during Navaratri, and lots of people do the part of that one, that's Devi part, is Durga Saptashati. So Durga Saptashati is a very powerful text related to Shakti Puja or Devi Puja. This Saptashati means 700 verses. So there are 700 verses. It is part of a Markandeya Purana, and it has 3 main chapters, and sub-chapters are 13 total of them. So many people do the whole Durga Saptashati part every day on these 9 days. The importance of this is, so there is it starts with, so I'll just briefly narrate the story of that, those who are not familiar with it. And the story is that there are the 3 characters basically in this one, which are main characters. One is the Surat, Samadhi, and Medharishi. So Surat is the king who had lost all his kingdom in the battle. He was a very good king and looked after all his people, just like his children, and did all the kingly things and responsibilities with great sincerity. He is deceived by his chief commander, and as a result, he lost the war to his neighboring country or kingdom. And finally, he's wandering in the jungle, very devastated, in great despair and sad, and just want to get away from that world which had treated him that way. Second is samadhi. Samadhi is a merchant, a businessman who had a great deal of wealth which he accumulated in life and earned, and very noble person. Finally, he's betrayed by his family and loses everything. So after he has lost all his possessions and family had disowned him, he's also wandering in the jungle. Both of them see each other and introduce each other and say that we are so sad, we have lost so much, and we are still, both of them find as they talk that why we are still attached to all the possessions and all the family, everything which we had owned. And they say that this is causing us such an agony to us. What is the reason? So they both are very noble people, very wise people, and they have this strong desire to know that what is it that is causing them so much anguish and pain and suffering. They have accepted that king has lost his kingdom and the businessman had lost all his possessions, but having lost that thing, they are still seem to be attached. And the businessman is worrying about his family as to what is happening to them. Are they being looked after? King is worrying that all my possessions, are they well looked after? All the people, all the his horses and everything what he had lived for and loved them. So they, as they wander, they go to this Medha Rishi's ashram. So Medha word means the higher level of wisdom. So they go to the Medha Rishi's ashram and ask him. He welcomes them, and they give their narration of the story as to what has happened to them. And they say that the question we have is that what is it that is making us so much attached to the things which we have already lost, and the people who have deceived us, and we are still attached, still caring about it. Why all this thing is happening to us, and this is causing us a great deal of suffering. So the Medha Rishi says that it is all Maha Maya. This is the big Maya, big illusion of the world, which is binding you to this world, and that bondage which you have, that strong bondage, and that is what is causing you the pain and suffering. So they say that, well, what is this Mahamaya and how can we get rid of these bondages? And then the story starts of these 13 chapters. So first, the Medha Rishi narrates them as to how the whole universe is created. And the way this whole thing is narrated and described, it is a metaphor. So metaphor is, and it is so scientific because I am a science student all my life, and I believe in science, and unless I understand it fully, it is difficult for me to accept it. It's not that I don't believe it, but to really have the acceptance or understanding of deeper meaning of things, it becomes difficult for me to follow it. So as I dig more into it, I find that this metaphor is that Surat and Samadhi depicts the two people people who are seeking the spiritual path and want to get away from the sufferings of the world. And this includes all the sufferings which we go through on day-to-day life, in our whole journey of our life. Medha Rishi is our wisdom, and or the one who is advanced spiritually, who can show us the way how to lead. And in our case, these are the rishis who had given us the Shrutis, the Vedas, the knowledge. So they go to that one, and then we talk about these three Devis, which is the creative power. So there's Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati. And there's a fierce battle which the story narrates, that how these three powers or three Devis have fought with these demons. So where are these demons? These demons are within us in the form of our desire, our inclinations, our vrittis. So as Yoga Sutra says, Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha. The yoga means the union with the Paramatma happens when you have controlled all your vrittis, and these vrittis are our tendencies, our sanskaras, which we carry from previous lives. And these demons bind us and to this world. So there are three gunas which we talk about: tamas, rajas, and sattva. So these three gunas bind us to this world, and these three Devis, Kali, Mahalakshmi, and Saraswati, they depict these three gunas as to how these three gunas are bondage to us, to this world. The human body is a microcosm of that macrocosm of the whole universe. Means, in other words, we are replica, a minute replica of this whole universe. So whatever is there in the universe resides within us. And this is how our rishis, even though they didn't have any equipment, they didn't have any laboratory, but they could investigate, they could go deeper into the human personality and figure out a lot of things just by becoming aware or going deeper within us. And this is all this Durga Saptashati tells us, that these three gunas with all these tendencies bind us to this world. How we get out of this thing, how do we proceed, how our evolution to the spiritual heights take place, is going through the same universe and understanding it and using these three powers of the creative powers, which will allow us and finally will get rid of us, rid of these bondages. There are three granthis which are described: Brahma Granthi, Vishnu Granthi, and Rudra Granthi. And these three granthis are also reflection of, or the depiction of, or the metaphor of these three bondages which we have. And there are certain ways how we can do that thing. So with this story, just to finish the story, that the Mahakali has these asuras, these demons with whom it fights, and finally it conquers them. So in the first charitra, because first we have to fight our tamas gun. Tamas gun is more of the demonic natures, more animal tendencies within us. So this is why it is called Mahisasuramardini. Like as I opening prayers I did, Mahisasuramardini. So Devi is called Mahisasuramardini. The first one, Mahakali. Mahish means the buffalo head. So it's the one demon with the buffalo head, and he changes his figure in a different ways. So these are our animal tendencies which we fight. And how we fight? With the Shakti of Mahakali. So this is where the journey, the spiritual journey starts. So first is the Mahishasura Mardini. So these are the lower animal tendencies. So in our scriptures, as we talk about that, as a human being, we are the most evolved species, and we do have animal tendencies, animal inclinations, but beyond that, we have dharma, which tells us, and we have ability to grasp that thing. So it says that ahara nidra samanya bhinnarana dharmatesha madhiko visharmenehina. The natural tendencies which we share with animals are ahar, nidra, bhay, maithunancha. Means eating, sleeping, being fearful, trying to protect ourselves, our entity, our existence, that bhay, and procreation. All these are similar tendencies we have or we share with animals. What differentiates us is dharma. Dharma is we have ability to see what is right and wrong, what principles, the morals and ethics, and how we live our life in a based on the dharmas, those principles. So we have ability to that. If we do not have dharma within our life, then there's no difference between us and the animal. So first, when we talk about Mahakali, we fighting with those animal tendencies, because our reaction usually happens when somebody does bad thing. We want to do the bad thing to that person. Anything bad happens, we are sad. We are hungry. So all those things, we have to have a control on those. Vritti nirodha, vritti has to be controlled. So that's the first stage in which we work on. Second stage comes that we have, so they talk about that Mahishasura in the first one. And after, so I think in the Durga Saptati first chapter, I think I should mention that first charitra is how the creation is created. I should have mentioned that thing. So first, the creation was created. Just remember the picture which you have probably seen, where Vishnu, Bhagwan is lying on the Sheshnag and the Kshira Sagar, and Lakshmi ji is by his feet sitting there. So that picture depicts basically that before the whole creation was done, it was unmanifested energy field. The science believes that there is a universal one energy field out of which the whole universe has come out. So there is an attempt to figure out as to how this energy has worked by the scientists. But our rishis had figured it out, and they had said into different language the same thing. So that unmanifested energy field in which that sea, where there is no ripple, no nothing. What that shows is that when these three gunas, Raj, Tamas, and Sattva, is all in perfect balance, there is no creation, there is no waves. And then, because of the previous karmas of the universe, because the cycle has been going on for a very long period of time, there is no beginning of that thing. So all those karmas that creates, so Madhu and Kaitab is the first demons which starts. Those are the karmas of the cosmic karmas which starts the creation of the universe, and that's the Brahma which is the power which creates it. There's a battle between Vishnu and Madhu and Kaitab. Madhu and Kaitab is, the name itself says that what is sweet and bitter. So we react to what is sweet and bitter according to, just like the animals will react. And this is how we are attracted. What is sweet, we are averted from things which are bitter. Now, to fight with that duality, so from that Advaita, from non-duality state where there was no creation, we have this this Madhu and Kaitab as the duality starts, the whole creation begins to take place. So with that one, finally, as because all the duality is created by the Shakti, by the Lakshmi ji who is sitting there, because that's the creative power. So Vishnu is the unmanifested energy field. Lakshmi is the creative power, which then begins to, from the unmanifested, it begins to create the universe. And this is how the universe is created. As the universe is created, then we have second chapter, or second charitra, is the Mahisasura, so our animal tendencies. So we fight with those animal tendencies. In that one, there is Dhumralochan. There is another demon they call Dhumralochan. Dhumralochan means your eyes are smoky eyes. Means you can't see the reality. So first you have to clear that thing. There's another demon which is called Chandamund, which depicts your ego and your own personal thoughts, opinions. Then you have Raktabij. Raktabij is another demon which the Devi fights with, and that means every drop of his blood as it falls on the ground, it will create another demon of the same power. And that depicts our desires, because our desires are unlimited, and unlimited desires, more you satisfy these desires, more desires will create. So finally, Devi decides that as there's no end to killing this Raktabij, better not to allow this drop, any drop of the blood, to fall on the ground. That means the desires, more you satisfy, more it will create. If you stop the creation of the desires within you, those sanskaras, get rid of those ones, then finally you get rid of that Raktabij, those powerhouse where the desires are done. So having done that thing, then third charitra, it comes Shumbha and Nishumbha, in which you are now at a higher level, and the battle is at a higher level. And this battle is between what is right and wrong, how to figure that out in the life, what is right and what is wrong. And even our rishis, when we see the stories of, say, Vishwamitra and Vashishtha, they both were great rishis, but there was a lot of rivalries between that and Vishwamitra, because Vashishtha was a Maharshi at a higher position of the rishi state, and had lots of siddhis and powers. And Vishwamitra wanted to defeat him or be superior to him, and as a result, he did lots of tapas. So at that level, that kind of a rivalry and that kind of a what is right and wrong, and that ahankar, that my knowledge, my achievements, my tapas is superior than anybody else, that level is then at the final stages when you have the battle. So that's Shumbha and Nishumbha, what is right and what is wrong, what is so doing that thing, finally you reach to the state of complete nirvana. From the tantric point of view, the Durga Saptashati also has, this is when you take it all this thing into into the context of the tantric practices, it starts from the Muladhara chakra, and as you ascend Urdhvareti, as they call it, you from the Kundalini, which resides into the Muladhara chakra. From there, as you practice it, you awaken the Kundalini, you have it Urdhvareti in different chakras, and as it reaches the final abode of Sahasrara chakra, it unites with the Shiva. So that creative power which is within us resides in our Kundalini. And so there are three ways we can look at the Durga Saptashati as to how we do that thing. I know it's kind of a little confusing. I'm trying to put too much information into a brief talk. But in brief, just try to understand that there could be three ways by which we can, or three methods as we talked about. There is Bhakti Marg, Karma Marg, and then there is meditation or Yoga Marg. So with the Yoga Marg, you first of all, let's talk about the Bhakti Marg. Bhakti Marg, a lot of people feel that's probably the easiest way to relate. But it is not up to everybody else to have that kind of a devotion that you have surrendered everything, surrendered yourself totally. Those who have that kind of a bhakti, then they don't need any of these things. Their things are totally taken care of. And that's what the Bhakti Marg is about. Then there is a Karma Marg, that you do Nishkama Karma. And with that one, you detach yourself from all the fruits of the actions. Everything you do for everybody's benefit. And third is the meditation way, by which you awaken your Kundalini, have that Shakti ascend, and that Shakti will open up all these powerhouses which are within you, the chakras, and will give you that knowledge and free you from all those bondages. Now, I have there's a number of questions which I think people ask when they see different murtis of Devi, and what do they mean, and how do we relate to those kind of iconic depiction of the Devi and Shakti. So if Vishal can share the first slide, I can just comment on those ones. I think there are 4 or 5 slides.
I have the main slide here, and we will just flip on to a few of those.
So shall I? Yeah. So this is the Mahishasuramardini. She's the destroyer of the demons. So these are the demons which reside within us. And a lot of time we think that, no, I can control my anger, I can control my anxiety, I can control my desires. These are very difficult tasks, and it needs a lot of effort on our part to control these things, because we are usually slaves of these desires and these demonic tendencies which we possess. And when they talk about the Swarga, that these demons had taken over the Swarga, what is that Swarga? Swarga is our Antakaran. Our Antakaran is Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar. That's our Ahankar, because that's what controls us. All these 4 characters or qualities of our Antakaran controls our whole personality. How we control that thing, because if all our tendencies control, then the demons are the Swarga's controller. And a lot of time that happens, because as a physician, I see patients who have addictions of drugs, addictions of smoking, alcohol, and you tell them, and they say that we know that it is not good for us. It has done us a lot of harm, but we just can't help it. They are slaves of those tendencies. And this is how we are slaves to some extent to our tendencies that sometimes we realize after that and regret that I shouldn't have done this way, I shouldn't have done that way, or I shouldn't have lost my temper. And those are the things which we control with the power of our of Kali. So the Kali depicts that we control our these animal tendencies, which usually we react to and do more harm to ourselves. And even if we don't say or do that thing, within us, it gives us lots of suffering and pain. So this is how the Mahisasura-mardini, destroyer of the demons. And first you have there is as we talked about Dhumralochan and Raktabij. So all those demons depict our different tendencies, negative tendencies, which does our personality harm. So this is Mahisasura-mardini. So it's not that it is not an external violence it is depicting that with that power which you have within you, awaken that power and fight with these demonic tendencies. So you can conquer the Swarga. Swarga is your Antahkarana. It is within you. Everything is within you. There is nothing outside. Next slide. Now, then in the next slide is Mahalakshmi. So Mahalakshmi is depicting that it is the goddess of prosperity and blessings. So once you do that thing, you have all the blessings. And it's not only just the material blessings, it is the blessings of your character, your ethics, your purity of your inner being. And that will bring you lots of prosperities in your material life, in your life will be much more satisfied. So a person who is on spiritual journey always have ethics and character. A person who has no ethics or lower ethics and character, he cannot be spiritual. That he has a lot of. This is why we start in the Yoga Sutras. This we talk about the first how to improve our character, how to do the Antahkarana Shuddhi. So Yama Niyama, when we talk about Yama Niyama, what are those things we should follow in our life? What are the principles of that dharma? So based on that one, we have then prosperity in our life, both materialistic prosperity as well as within our character. Then next is Mahalakshmi and Mahasaraswati next. So can we have next slide? Yes. So Mahasaraswati is the goddess of wisdom and knowledge, that we begin to have more knowledge, we have more deeper understanding of things. And this is what Saraswati depicts. Next. Now, this is a very powerful, iconic representation of Shiva. So as we talked about Shiva as the unmanifested energy, or Vishnu. So all these three aspects of Vishnu, Shiva, and Brahma. These are basically for our understanding, but it is all one power we're talking about, one energy field we're talking about. So here, those Shivites, they believe that it is the Shiva which creates the whole world, and it is the Shiva's Nataraj. This depiction is the most powerful one, which so Shiva is dancing on this figure which is crushing, that is the ignorance, and as his Damaru is, that is the Nad on which all the creation is created, because everything is waveform. Now, as you know, the science believes that matter equals energy. So it's all energy, all the matter what we see is pure energy. Somehow this energy, these particles have been brought together to form the form the matter. And our scriptures in more details, they talk about how this whole universe and all the matter is created. So the Dabaru depicts that thing, and the dance is that it is all his creation, which is all around it, and Abhay Mudra, that there is nothing to fear. This whole creation, you are part of this thing. This is so. This is how the Nataraj picture. It has a lot more explanation. I don't have time right now to explain that. So we'll go to the next one. Now, this is another one which a lot of time people have difficulty in understanding, that how the Kali is dancing on Shiva, and it has all these garland of human heads. What is this? Why this depiction? Because the depictions were done with great deal of thought and understanding, just for average person to understand. So Shiva is that unmanifested energy field on which is totally inert. There's no movement. The Devi which is dancing here is the creative power. So from that unmanifested energy field, the creative power is the one which is creating this whole universe. These human heads, the garland of human heads depicts, these are 50 in number. These 50 are the matrikas. What is matrika? Matrikas are the sound waves, which are creative waves. And in Sanskrit, it is those syllables of Sanskrit. This is how Sanskrit is regarded as Devi language or Devic language, because all these Sanskrit phonets, they have specific sounds which have specific meaning. And this is why Sanskrit language is so powerful. And all the mantras are in Sanskrit. And as we chant mantras, they have specific sequence, how they have powers. So this is how mantras power is. All these 50 depicts how the whole universe is created in different ways. Some of you are familiar with Shri Yantra. So Shri Yantra is a graphic representation of those energy fields of the whole universe. And this has been figured out by our rishis. So there is so much deeper meaning of these things, which we at least have to know that it is not just how it is shown, but it is how it was iconically represented by our rishis for common people's understanding, and all the kathas and the stories which go behind all these depiction is basically just for the average person understanding. Even if they don't understand the deeper meaning, at least they follow, and they have some shraddha and devotion to these shaktis. Is there any other? I think there's one more. Oh yes, this is again the garland of the skull head. So this is again all those powers as we get rid of all our negative tendencies. These are the heads are representing that getting rid of those negative tendencies with the power which we have. Now this is the tongue sticking out, and there are a couple of explanations, but the one which I thought was nirvikalpa. That means this Shakti, this power, universal power or cosmic power, which we talk about, is nirvikalpa. There are no vikalpa in this one, no impurities. It is devoid of all the impurities. And that's what it means. Okay, these are the chakras which we talked about. So the lower chakra is Muladhara chakra, where the Kundalini resides, and that's the power. And there are tantric ways to awaken that kundalini and ascend that power through the nadis, which mainly is the Sushumna nadi, through that into the Swadhisthana chakra, then Manipur chakra. And Manipur chakra has that Brahma Granthi, and then you ascend to the Anahata chakra and Vishuddha chakra, where there's Vishnu Granthi and Anahata chakra and Vishuddha chakra, and then Agna chakra and Sahasrara chakra. At Agna chakra is the Rudra Granthi. So these are some of the terminologies which you come across or which confuse you. So I'm just mentioning that. I hope I'm not confusing you too much with these different or unfamiliar words. But I think you will come across these words in our prayers, in our hymns, and certain talks. And a lot of you have enough knowledge to relate to these things. So just sum up this whole thing, whole talk, and then I'll open for the questions, is that we have talked about how the whole universe creation is taken place, how Durga Saptashati story relates to that these demons which reside within us, how we conquer these demons, and how we proceed or evolve ourselves into the spiritual path to its highest level. And what do these iconic images which we have, we relate to that thing, how we understand that thing. With the deeper understanding, as we engage into the devotion of that supreme power, that Mahalakshmi, we then get rid of those bondages which bind us into this world and to this universe. And that bondage creates the suffering within us. And with that one, I would conclude. And if there are any questions, we would be able to talk about that. Hari Om. Thank you so much for your attention.
So while everyone posts their questions and then ask, there is one comment from Vasudha ji, and basically she was just recovering from her surgery and feeling not so good, but she was saying that your talk is very uplifting. Thank you. Just wanted to comment that different cultures in India, I would say in Hindu culture, pray different goddesses, not just during Navratri, but also all other times. Example, Bengalis perform Kali Puja during Deepavali, and so on.
Yes, so there are so many different aspects of this supreme power that we try to relate ourselves and we relate to it. And like our Kula Devi is Chamunda Devi, and so that from childhood we have been we have a little altar of Chamunda Devi, so we worship that thing. So this is how we relate. So no matter which form you relate, so long you have that devotion. And those who are more serious spiritual seekers, they follow the path of the tantric path, and then there are certain shlokas and there's certain way of doing it. Yes, so but I think it is the trust and it is the faith which you carry with you. I think that is the most strong one, which will help you in our day-to-day life, I must say.
So I would encourage everyone to ask questions.
I'm Nawalji, thank you very much for this beautiful talk. And first and foremost, happy 50th anniversary. I'm glad it worked out on this special day for your talk. So Nawalji, like when you sent me the topic about the feminine power, it got me thinking right away. Like, I don't know how many other religions shows so much worship to the feminine power. To be honest, I think it's only Hinduism we have that feminine power. We pray to lots of our devis, Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, etc., etc. Uh, but just a bit out of context, we pray to so many to the feminine power, but in our everyday life, I'm just taking, for instance, in Mauritius, uh, we still don't show that respect to our women in normal life. Like, can you discuss on that a bit?
Yes. So I think when we see our societies in different parts of the world, it always have been male dominant society because and there's evolution now, as you can see that everywhere we're talking about women's right and so forth. So we have come from that animal tendencies of that tamas tendencies. Slowly we have evolved, and now we're talking more and more of that thing, and things are changing. Even though people really talk that world is falling apart and things are so bad and all that, it's only that we are becoming more aware of things now and taking care of it in right direction. And I think we are spiritually, as a human beings throughout the world, I think we are evolving into better human beings than we were, say, thousands of years ago. So I think this is my belief, and this male dominance has been just because of the role males have played, and physically they were strong. But now I think even in India, I see that in the technical colleges and medical colleges, there is far more women who are students or girls which are students than boys, and performance of the girls have been much better than boys, which in fact even average person can see that thing. So I think things are changing for better. Things are changing for better because every society has to go through that thing. It's the spiritual evolution is also just like human evolution. We have come from as we talk about the evolution theories, from the jungle to Stone Age to now evolved that thing. And the same way our spiritual level is gradually improving. That's what I believe anyway.
Thank you, Nawal.
Can you?
Vishal
Okay.
ji, if I can add further points, look at Mother Mary. Even in Christianity, they give importance to Mother Mary for bringing forth Jesus Christ to the world. So in other religions too, there is respect for women given. It is the mother who brings us. It is the mother principle that sustains the universe. But at the home, the power between the male and female aspect is not revealed. It's mutually discussed and it is run together. How Devi is described in Lalita Sahasranamam. Sri Shiva Shiva Shakti Aikya Rupini Lalitambika. Shiva and Shakti work together, and that's how the universe is created. It is very easy to acquire mother's grace. Icha Sakti, Jnana Sakti, Kriya Sakti, Swarupini. Because of desire, we are born, Icha. Mahalakshmi gives the Icha, the righteous kama, the righteous desire men should provide. That's what she gives. Kriya Shakti, Shakti, the power in us to work, to attain success, that comes from the power of Shakti, Kali, Devi. And then we had to exercise our mind, Viveka, Vichara, knowledge, not the bookish knowledge to earn money, That is an aspect of Mahalakshmi. But what is the purpose of my life? The question what we should pose. Then we get clarity. Why am I come? What should I do? Where do I go? And that is what is Saraswati, knowledge. Paramvidya, the knowledge of the self. Atma Bodham, Atmic knowledge. Amma, Amen, affable. Everything starts from A, the first alphabet, that is mother creation. Creation, sustenance, and destruction is a continuous process. Destruction of the evil in us. I will stop. I will not go on and on. Great talk by Nawal ji. I will add only one point. Go and Google. Although we have to put out the evil in us, that these things really happened in Bharat. Go and Google today. There is a community in Jharkhand. Like I will not. You can go and Google yourself. Jharkhand tribal community mourning during Navaratri. Mahish group still exists. They don't celebrate Navaratri. Go on Google. You can do. There are a lot of people who have done research on that. During those 9-10 days, they really mourn because their leader was put down. So it exists. It exists in reality. It is very easy to acquire the power of Devi. Yandra Mandra Tantra Swarupini. We can very easily gather. But if we are not disciplined, that very power will destroy us. It has to be treated with very carefully under a spiritual teacher. I stop here. Great talk. Navaratri. Add one more point.
Yeah, so
We'll stop here. Yes, sir.
yeah, Gopalji, thanks for
Thank you, Gopalji.
detailed explanation. Lalita ji, question. So Lalita ji,
Can I just need to know, you started with the 9 days of Navaratri. Can you explain a little bit, do we divide the 3 diyas in into 3 separate days, or all 3 of them? How? Excuse my ignorance, I left India a long time ago, and I do come from a family which did not do so much of puja. So can you just elaborate that on for the 3 Devis?
Yeah, so these 3 Devis actually, even though for understanding purpose we have this division, but it is all just one single power. So if we just doing simple prayers, that is just good enough. We don't have to. It's just that for understanding purpose, and especially the Durga Saptashati as they describe into three sections. These 3 aspects of the same Devi, the same power, the same cosmic energy field we're talking about. And a lot of time what happens that we don't relate to the cosmic energy field in the way we relate to the people, because we have to understand it's not only just the creative power, it is also the intelligence. All the intelligence which we have, the wisdom, the understanding, the sensitivity which we have is taken from that cosmic power. So this cosmic power has universal wisdom. It has wisdom which has knowledge of everything. So it's not that. So it's it is not just a creative power like a machine or something, but it has that wisdom. Our brain is just taking just minute fraction of that wisdom from which we work, and we have this ego that we are separate from that universal intelligence. So once we relate in that manner, then I think we are connected to it at every level. So we don't have to do 3 different nights in 3 sections or anything. It's just to understand that there are 3 aspects of this energy.
Regarding the question of respect for the women, we do Ramanavami, and we do respect our girls in the family in that particular day,
Yeah,
so all of us do that.
sure.
So as you said, things are changing. Yes, they are changing.
So we
Thank
are
you
2
so
minutes.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yep. So we are 2 minutes to our time. And if there are any other questions, let's take that one more question. If there is any.
Yes, I have one question.
Yes, Nandanji, please go ahead.
Dr. Sharma, you done a great job, especially when you were talking about the Mahisasur, the demon about the Ratbir, and we just only actually think about all of those are the demons, and now we realize that demons are actually our desires, and that's very good thing which we learned today from you, and that's very good. And how to get rid all of them. Another thing is that in the sequence of all of these Devis, we have in Pakistan Hinglaj Devi. You know about the Hinglaj Devi. And if you have any about little bit information about Hinglaj Devi, so please share. Thank you.
Yeah, I have to say I don't know any specific thing about Hingalaj Devi, but there are lots of Devis which are worshipped into the small communities, and I think this is very common. Like in our side also, we have many other Devis. Now these Devis basically what they represent, which have been in our scriptures. These are different energy fields which create different things. So the simplest thing to understand these energy fields is, for example, take the human embryo. So it starts with one cell and then it multiplies. Not only it multiplies in same different cells, exactly at certain time it differentiates itself. That means it knows exactly how to make the human body. And so the eyes and the heart and the circulatory system, respiratory system, all these things are made at exactly at the right time from that one origin of the cell, which how does it know exactly what's the time and what to make and how this interconnect. So when you see the human creation of human body and when we study in science the embryology, then it fascinates you. It just absolutely fascinates you that how much intelligence it is taking place within us without our knowledge, without our control, and yet it makes a perfect human being, and at a perfect time it delivers out, and at perfect time the mother has milk in her breast to feed him. And so all these things nature is doing it. So nature has that great intelligence within it, and these different powers of the nature of the different the way it works, those are just different aspects of the same energy field, which by its own intelligence creates this whole universe. So human body is a replica of the whole universe. The whole universe is created that way. So there is an intelligence all around us. It's just that we have to, once we connect to that cosmic intelligence, we have much more understanding of things than what we do at just as a human level when we are surrounded with this ego. And I think this is the thing to understand. Different names of these powers don't mean that much so long we understand the deeper meaning of it. That's what I think.
So I think Nawalji, there are 51 Shakti Peeths. So I think this one is where the Mata's head was landed.
Yeah.
Again, Nandanji would know more because none of us has been there to the place, but maybe sometime Nandanji, you want to listen to your story. What's the legend about this particular Kuldevi? So we will learn about it. So with that, I will thank you, Nawalji, very, very much for showing the path, explaining us the Devis today, and obviously the significance. And obviously, as humans, we all can, females are our mothers. That's where we all are born. So maybe by default, we have the reason to respect. There's no reason. So in our ignorance, in our demonic nature, we ignore and we disrespect females. And I think that's one of the traits we all can correct. So that's my learning from today's lecture. And with that, I will thank you and we'll stop the recording now. And again, thank you very much, everyone, for spending your time and learning something today.
Thank you, Nawal. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for your attention and time. Thank you.